buttons and they're just with their buttons.
And we're live.
We're live. Yay! Hi everybody, and welcome to Movie Club Strikes Back Hangout, which we do every week because we are a crazy group of people that have put together an awesome collaborative collection channel where, surprisingly, we talk about movies because we like movies, because movies are great. So this is our weekly hangout. This week, let's see who we've got.
Hi, my name's Adam. My YouTube channel is Junk Drawer Videos. I talk about movies and pro wrestling and really whatever else is on my mind. And that's me.
And my name is Meta. You can find me anywhere at Meta Medicine. I talk about movies and UFC, and I've promised not to talk about 50 Shades of Grey tonight because I normally do that every hangout. But I'm not going to promise. Well, I don't know if I can keep that promise. I don't know.
I'll have you talking about 50 Shades of Grey again. It would be my goal and mission.
We have to talk about it every hangout. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. And I'm a bit distracted because Eurovision Song Contest is on in Denmark, where I'm from. So, yeah.
I am Liam on these hangouts or Servatorix anywhere else on the internet. I am here to misrepresent Scotland appallingly. And, yeah, I will not be talking about 50 Shades of Grey tonight. I will be sitting back and shaking my head, as they do. So, yeah. Hi.
My name is Baxhorn. I talk about movies, I talk about video games, I talk about anime, I sometimes talk naked, and just whore myself out to whoever will pay attention to me.
I'm Raymond. My Twitter is Raymond H. Smith. My YouTube is RayHS1984. I swear I'm going to start using Twitter. I mostly review random movies no one has ever heard of and talk about Oscar Pistorius. So, that's me. Next.
I'm Jenny. I'm Ticket Home to Jenny on the YouTube, at Ticket Home to Jen on the Twitter, and I am suffering from a minor case of hypothermia/exhaustion tonight, so I'm probably going to be relatively quiet and just hug my tea lot. But yay. Hi guys. I mostly do movie and anime reviews, and I'm done.
My name's Tor. You can find me at Tor's Times on basically any social media platform that you decide to go searching on. And I do movie reviews for Movie Club Strikes Back because that's currently the only movie club that I know of. Oh, no. Anyways, Movie Club reviews is what I do, and other stuff. And now I'm rambling, so I'm just going to end it.
And today I am your host. I am Kiwi, and I do the whole Twitter and the YouTubies and the stuffs. And I've just realized that I did not put mascara on this morning, so I feel like my eyes are like teeny tiny on a giant face because that's how women are and stuff, and we think like that. That has nothing to do with movies, unless we were to be talking about, like, you know, makeup and costume design, which is not today's topic. Today's topic actually is, in fact, Great Expectations, not the movie or the book or the... Oh, God, I've done it again. I've gone off on a tangent. No, Great Expectations... I know. I don't even need people to lead me astray. I can do that with me and all the voices in my head. So that works well. No. So today we're going to be talking about when it comes to movies and your expectations for them. So, you know, how sort of like all the buzz and the hype for a movie before it comes out really either pumps you up for a movie or kind of like deflates you for it before it's even had a chance to arrive. So I think probably what we should kick it off with first is what movies did or didn't actually live up to your expectations. Like what movies have you sort of had in the past where you've been so excited for and so desperately wanted to see that either was right there and sort of like hit those expectations or didn't? Meta, we'll start with you.
Well, this is actually like old school movies. I've always been told that like 2001: A Space Odyssey was fantastic and everything. I watched it for a project at school, and I have never been more disappointed in a movie in my entire life, I think. It's one of the movies that I actively hate and will never ever watch again. I was so disappointed at everybody telling me that it was the most fantastic movie. I hate it so much. I'm sorry.
Do you remember what it was specifically about the movie that you didn't like, or was it just the overall aesthetic of the movie?
I think it was overall, like, I did enjoy, like, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and I liked the thing about what's this, HAL 3000, like the computer and everything, but the ending especially, and so many things were so fucking weird about that movie that I just sat back and thought, what did I watch? And I don't want to spend my time watching that ever again. Ever.
Yeah, it's really disappointing when, like, there are these movies that you like, just, you know, everyone raves and talks about so much, and then you finally get to it and you're like, oh, really, this is it.
Exactly. I could not understand what the rave was all about. Like, I understand it's beautiful. I understand that you can interpret a lot of stuff from it, but holy shit, I've never been more disappointed.
Yeah. Who else have we got? Jenny, I saw you pop up next. What have you got?
One of the films the youngest that I remember watching the film and being really, really disappointed by was the 80s version of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think it was like a mini-series, it wasn't just a film. And I loved The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the radio play, so much. And I'd listened to it on tape, on repeat. And then I'm getting a lot of background noise here. The 80s TV series was just not how I saw the characters at all.
Yeah.
And then the film, which came out a couple of years ago, was okay, but again, it wasn't how I saw the characters. I think that was a Martin Freeman version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you?
So
I mean,
that was disappointing.
Yeah, I can remember. Yeah. I actually agree with you on that one. I totally agree. You're right. We're getting some really weird background noise. While I try and figure out where that's coming from, Ray, what about you? What movies either have or haven't met your expectations in the past?
Most recently, it's a video game. Everyone told me Red Dead Redemption was awesome, so I started playing it. It's the first video game I've been in like 10 years. And I'm 30% through. I'm really enjoying it because your guy can take hits, and I like to tank through games and just run around and kill stuff and not have to sneak around like in Metal Gear Solid. All them games get great reviews, and I don't like them because you get shot once and your game's over. You're running away for the next ones.
Yeah. I am actually the complete opposite with you on that game. I saw it before the game came out, and it was at a big training convention for all the EB Games store managers, and all of the store managers that had been in before me were like, oh my god, this game is so cool, and I went in there, and the first thing they did was shoot a horse, and I'm like, motherfuckers, don't be shooting no horse, and I started crying, and I left, and I'm like, I cannot be on board with this. I don't care if I'm shooting people in the face or zombies in the face or anything like that. Just
you can do both of them.
Horsey. You can kill the horse. You can kill dogs. Just no.
Yeah,
that right there is how they weed out psychopaths. They're all like, who takes?
And the thing is, that's one of the best strategies in like games like Skyrim, for instance. The attack and run away. That's a legitimate strategy.
But it was a horse. Why kill? What did the horse?
I don't care.
A couple of weeks back in the Hangout, talked about slitting my throat.
What, slitting your throat? Yeah, but there's a person. I don't care if it's a person. Like, it's a poor horse. That's the poor horsey. But since we've got you talking, Liam, since you've joined us in the conversation, what movies did or didn't meet your expectations, young Mr. Stutzman?
Well, I know how the entirety of Movie Club were ranting and raving about how awesome Blue Valentine was. So when
that was right up there.
Second chance.
I I kind of felt like
I don't
with
know.
that movie that anyone that actually said that they like really liked it and thought it was amazing, I can't be friends with them. I'm just like, your judgment is very, very wrong.
I
So,
don't
That's why none of them
remember.
are here right now.
I
yeah.
don't remember
Anyone who liked it,
anyone
gone,
liking
cold.
it. Were there actual
Oh.
videos that said they liked it?
Oh, I think there was at least one person. And then there were a whole bunch of people in
There
the
was
comments who were
one,
like, these movie clubbers are so stupid. This
Oh,
movie
yeah.
is amazing.
Mhm.
And I'm like, go fuck yourself. This movie
Well,
was shit.
that's the comment section for you.
Yeah. Tor, what about you? Movies that did or didn't meet your expectations?
For mine, it was actually the newest Predator movie. I forget what the main actor's name was, but he just,
Adrian Brody.
when I watched the preview, I just couldn't see him as being like carrying that type of movie, and I was really sort of trepidatious about watching it. But I went and saw it in theaters, and like it kind of blew me out of the water. Like I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And so that was like sort of the opposite of being disappointed with, obviously, where the preview sort of made me not want to watch it, but then the movie itself was so much better than I thought it would be.
I can see where you're coming from there. It's like so often you kind of see movies from the actual trailer and you're like, oh god, this is just gonna be so shit. And then you go and watch it and you get dragged along to watch it because 9 times out of 10 you don't want to see it. And you're like, holy crap, this movie is like freaking amazing. And you never would have like thought that at first. Oh god, I'm doing a really shit job tonight hosting. I'm just like, what? You know what? We're gonna go straight on to Backsawn, who's gonna save me by talking about movies that didn't meet his expectations.
Movies that there were a bunch of people wanting me to watch Hobo with a Shotgun, and I was very disappointed with Hobo with a Shotgun. The splatter effects this is like one of those really bad effect movies, no storyline. It was just all gore and garbage. The other one, another one was a Bruce Campbell movie that actually let me down. Was what was it? The one where he's the Elvis guy.
Bubba Hotep.
Yeah,
Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep disappointed me. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I mean,
Of course it did.
I own that on DVD. I moved heaven and hell to be able to buy that movie on DVD.
I mean,
because
I did like the Kennedy guy, but just the movie in general was just it didn't work for me. Oh,
yeah.
and of course someone has to go here. Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Oh God, world's
I
biggest.
actually like them.
Oh my
Same,
God, Nita.
actually.
Okay.
I like
Do you
Okay.
like
1 and
Ban,
not 2.
ban.
Well, I didn't say I liked them more. I just said I didn't hate them.
I
Me-
can watch them.
George
I will
fucking suck.
sit there and watch them.
But-
Like, especially if my husband is sick. Whenever he gets sick, he turns automatically to Star Wars, but he needs to do all 6 of them in a row when he's sick. Which, when you think about it, makes sense. Start with the 3 prequels first when you're at your sickest. So by the time you get past that and you're feeling a bit better, you're on to the good movies. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you take out Jar Jar and then a lot of the erroneous plot points and then a lot of just standing around talking, not really doing anything, you've got probably about 45 minutes of some pretty good movie.
And replace Annie.
Oh, so bad.
What about Darth Maul? You can't. You wouldn't have liked Darth Maul if you didn't.
Oh God, no!
episode
I
one.
would never have. No, that is anything Darth Maul related is kind of like the best parts of the movie. Anything outside of that, though, there's just so many plot holes and it's painful. And because I mean, since we are talking about movies that did or didn't meet our expectations, that one really didn't, because I went along to the opening night, midnight screening, surrounded by people who were so fully decked out, and I think a couple of people from the 501st were there, like completely decked out to watch it, and you could just literally feel the deflation in the audience as we were all sitting there going, at the beginning we were like, yeah! And then by the end of it, people were
I knew
like
for that movie
crying,
before I saw it, so I knew it was bad. The review I saw for that movie was, it's so bad you won't see a second time if Harrison Ford drives you to the theater.
I mean, and that's why I'm very like leery of having like high expectations for like Star Wars Episode 7. It's like I don't want to be disappointed in it. It's like, yeah, they're bringing back Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, they're bringing back Mark Hamill, but it's like I don't want to get my hopes up, go there, and just watch an absolute shit movie.
I'm going to hold you there on that
before.
point because we'll actually come to that in a minute because I do want to talk about movies that we are most and least looking forward to and the reason why. But Adam, just sort of like on movies that did or didn't meet your expectations, we'll sort of finish off there and then we'll roll on through.
Well,
And then Jenny's had her hand up for like 10 minutes.
well,
Maybe you can go next, love.
Episode 1, I was there the first day it opened, and it was exactly like you described. It was like, this is going to be awesome. Like, this is, this is going to be the awesomest thing ever. And then it was just like, oh my god, what did they do to this movie? Another movie that I really had high expectations for was Spider-Man 3, because I was a huge fan of Venom, reading the comics, and he was in it for like 5 minutes, and they kind of butchered that movie for a lot of things. And the movie that sort of actually exceeded my expectations would have to be Fight Club, because the trailers for it didn't really make it look like there was much to it, and then when you watch the movie, it was kind of blew my mind, at least a little.
Yeah. I love that
Yeah,
movie.
Fight Club was definitely deeper than it was led to believe. Especially, I mean, obviously we don't want to go into spoilers for Fight Club since there's probably a lot of people.
Don't break the first 2 rules of Fight Club.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you
Well,
have to
the
watch.
thing is, it's come to the point where, like, I want to, if I have to watch it, I'm going to watch it, like, in amazing quality, not on my computer some night where I just have some time. Like, I want to do it properly, so I have to do it when I'm back home with my dad in his movie theater, so.
Nice. Jenny, last one to sort of wrap up this topic, and then we'll roll on through to the next.
Okay, I'm not sure whether or not this is kind of going off on its own tangent anyway, but specifically films that have had really awesome trailers, and then I was really disappointed when I actually watched the film. Your Highness, which had an awesome trailer with some really great worked-in jokes, and then you watch the film, and those were the only variants on the jokes, and the rest are all about phallic things. And
Is that not your cup of tea, Jenny? Is that not your kind of humor?
Not really. If I had phallic things in my cup of tea, I would be extremely alarmed.
And actually, that was what I wanted to talk to next. I had my hand raised up. Is that I think that's a trap that a lot of the comedies, will happen to. It's like but the best moments of the trailers for the comedies, you go watch the 90-minute comedies, and it's like those are the funny parts of the movie. The rest are just.
See, I totally felt like that about Anchorman. I have to preface this, the first time I watched it, because like I watched the trailer for it and I'm like, holy shit, this is gonna be the funniest thing ever. And then when I went and watched the movie the first time, I'm like, this is kind of average. Like they put all the best jokes in the trailer. I mean, I eventually got over myself and watched Anchorman again another couple of times and freaking loved the shit out of it. But a lot of comedies do that. They just sort of take those really good. Actually, the other thing they do a lot of the time as well, and we'll go on to that when we move on to trailers as well, is the way that they almost seem to shoot additional footage just specifically for the trailers. But we'll go to that next because I kind of want to talk really quickly. Well, not really quickly, but move on to what movies though are we actually most looking forward to or least looking forward to.
Just real quick, I didn't touch on movies that exceeded expectations, and just realized one that we just watched for Harry Movie Club, Avatar, that more than exceeded my expectations. That was one where I actually watched it in 3D, and the 3D even impressed me. It wasn't seemed forced at all. The other one, there was one more that exceeded my expectations. Now I'm blank. Oh, Captain America also way exceeded my expectations for the sequel follow-up. But I could go on probably a 10-minute thing, so I'll let us go on for the next topic.
I actually have a confession to make. I still have not ever seen Avatar, so I probably should be doing Hearing Movie Club this week. But yeah, in terms of like movies that like most looking forward to or least looking forward to, I can say in terms of least looking forward to, now that they've made more announcements about it, I am so not looking forward to the Gem and the Holograms movie. That was like one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, and just everything I've been reading about so far and some of the casting I've seen, it looks like they're going to completely butcher it. Yeah, the only way they can save it is to have like some really super sexy, hot-blooded, semi-angry Latino man playing Rio, and then maybe I won't hate it that much. But
He has to be sexy, obviously.
well, it's Rio. I mean, come on. This is the character that caused a love triangle between him and technically only one other person, but she was nutso and had split personalities and was lying to him all the time, and you can only manage that with a really hot, sexy Latino. You can't just be average. Like, you wouldn't put yourself through all of that drama for like some average Joe blog. I mean, really. I do, actually. I was there when they were making Gem. In fact, they came to me and asked me for ideas, and I said, hey, why don't you do this for a TV cartoon series? I mean, I was only like 4 or 5 at the time, but clearly I was an advanced thinker.
So you're saying we all live our life by a show that was written by a 4-year-old? Is that what you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like I said, I was well advanced for my time. So, Tor, how about you save me from this giant, like, shitstorm I'm digging myself into?
I'm actually really excited for the new Godzilla movie, which could go either way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, like, I realize it could be, like, the last time.
Matthew Broderick was bad. I'm sorry.
I've got my fingers crossed for a good Godzilla movie. It looks pretty awesome so far.
Yeah, I'm like withholding my judgment so far with regards to Godzilla. I don't want to be disappointed in that one either. I mean, it's like, again, like I just don't want my expectations to get so high and then have another Matthew Broderick movie.
Yeah.
I personally don't think the Matthew Broderick one was that bad. I mean, he wasn't
terrible,
and it has that really good. That really good P. Diddy song on the soundtrack as well, and I'm like, yeah, I can jam to this. Yo.
I hope there's new rap songs with Godzilla's screams like in them as a featured guest star musical artist, because that's awesome.
So
Green Day.
So basically Godzilla instead of goats.
Yes. I want to hear some like dubstep remixes of like Godzilla crossed with house music.
I think I want to see the Taylor Swift song replace the goats with Godzilla.
Yeah.
I also just want to give a quick shout out to Courtney, who's watching in the audience. Apparently the Queen was a wee bit fussy tonight, so she didn't come in. But yay, I'm not the only person that hasn't seen Avatar yet, so I don't feel like I should be completely shunned from polite society.
You should.
They'll shut up. I think actually in terms of the Godzilla movie, that movie and all the trailers and stuff that have come out for it is actually what prompted one of my next questions that are coming up later on, but we'll get to that in a minute. Meta, what about you?
One movie that I am not really looking forward to after seeing the trailers, I'm sorry to say, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fuck that shit so bad. I mean, it just looks like, I can't even explain it. It just looks really, really, really horrible. And I don't think personally it's going to be a good movie.
I think it looks like if they just digitally removed the turtles and put Transformers in there, it would be the exact same movie that we have already seen from Michael Bay.
And maybe remove Megan Fox as well.
But yeah,
that might make it better.
It's just, it just looks so amateur. and so average, and I don't know, it just fell so flat for me.
I think me and Meta are going to war today.
I mean, from what I've seen, from what I've seen from the trailers, I mean, the animation of the CGI looked really smooth, and I mean, it looked interesting. I mean, I want to actually see it in terms of what happens with it in general. But my beef is Megan Fox personally, and I'd say replace her with the porn star April O'Neil.
Megan Fox is fine. She's a sexy lady. She can rock it.
I agree. I think exactly. Like April wasn't like some.
She's a TV reporter, not like a porn star.
She had a brain.
She's not there to have sex with the turtles. Like,
why not?
The white cast Megan. That's obviously what she's there for.
If she was, I would totally watch it.
I'm sure there is a fan fiction.
That'd be like 50 Shades of Green.
There's
definitely fan fiction out there. Definitely.
I have to say, Meta, I'm kind of shocked. This was your perfect opportunity to talk about 50 Shades of Grey, because we all know that you're looking forward to that movie. So.
But there hasn't been a trailer yet. There has only come pictures from like the set. So that's why I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut Adam off before, but Adam was going to say something.
About hating me?
No.
I just wanted to say that.
Oh, but I said, okay.
Okay, I just screwed up my slipper and I'm really unhappy. But look, they're like reindeer. This is really upsetting. I just smushed the bottom. Well, I am fighting with my slipper. Liam, what about you?
I've got two films I'm very looking forward to this year. One would be, to steal your thunder, Kiwi, The Hobbit. The new one, based on the previous two. I'm really looking forward to that. And also, Dawn of the... What's the new Planet of the Apes one? The titles are getting too goddamn long now.
Yeah, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or something like that?
Yeah.
Dawn of the Land of the Time Before the Planet of the Apes rose up
Dawn
again.
of the Rise of the Movie about the planet.
The teaser for look really good. I just hope they don't fuck up the trailer and give away too much.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Liam. I am I'm kind of half looking forward to it, and then not looking forward to it, because then when the movie comes out, that's it. It is 100% done. I don't think they have planned.
Isn't there?
But I don't know if they're planning on I know there's been a little bit of talk about it, but I don't know if they're gonna actually go ahead and do it. But I think he has kind of said, this is it for him. He's done with them after this, and I'm just like, but I want it to be like Middle Earth, happy, fun time, movie time, all the time. So.
That's what your imagination's for, Kiwi.
It's not the same. Well, although I suppose I could do a lot dirtier things with Orlando Bloom in my imagination. Then,
Oh, don't get me started.
That works for me. Jenny, I'm going to go to you before your hand falls off, because you're always so patient waiting.
Thank you. I was going to say 2 films I'm really looking forward to, and it sounds incredibly like I'm a Marvel fangirl, but Avengers 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy, because the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer looks amazing, and at the end of Captain America, when they showed the end credit scene with the, I'm just going to go with twins for no spoilers, I had this massive squeebration because I knew who those characters were, and literally kicked my feet and twitched a bit, and the people who were watching the movie with me were very, very embarrassed, but I wasn't. I was just very happy.
Yeah, I wanted to mention about Guardians of the Galaxy also, but I also had someone telling me about the premise of Guardians of the Galaxy and about how one of the characters is a raccoon, so I started eye rolling, doing the eye roll thing when he was telling me about it. I saw the trailers, and the trailers blew my mind. And
it looks so good. I am so there with you, Jenny. When I went and saw Captain America and I saw them at the end, I'm like, oh, fuck, yes!
I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer in front of Captain America. That's where I traveled for that.
They did. It was just, I love how this is the golden age of comic book adaptations, because there is so much like history and lore there. Like, I'm really excited and really looking forward to the Agent Carter TV series that they've just signed.
Oh yeah, I look forward to that.
He is just so cool. Does everyone know who Agent Carter is?
Wait.
From
Shield?
Yes, she's from the original Captain America movie, and she sort of made an appearance in the
Okay.
this one. So she was the chick that was kind of like Captain America's love interest back sort of in the 40s, and then she went on to sort of like work with Shield and with Tony Stark's father, and was kind of like this sort of like badass 1940s post-war female spy. Awesome chick. So they're doing like they've signed for a TV series for a show about her. And it's kind of going to be the hiatus mid-season.
Will it actually air on like the Wonder Woman TV show? Will they even air the pilot?
Yeah, I mean, well, they've set it up so that it's going to be the show that sort of shows during the hiatus of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I think is a really good idea, because it's what they should have done with Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. And it was originally set as a premise to be kind of like the show that filled in between Once Upon a Time while it was on a show break, but they decided not to, and they put it on at a different time. So that was unfortunately the reason why that show only got one season. So I think they're doing it right with Agent Carter. But I love the fact of how everything is so interconnected, and if you've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and again they've sort of referenced, the Howling Commandos from back in kind of the early Captain America days. It is just, for people who are fans of it and sort of know, at the very least, a bit about kind of the history of these characters, you just sit there going, oh my god, just give me more, I want more and more and more. But I'm so with you, fuck yes, Avengers 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy, and oh god, so much excitement. Can't wait.
Yeah, I was really impressed in the trailer with how the raccoon looked really realistic, and they didn't really make it seem like too cheesy or anything like that. It was the CGI for the raccoon was just really well done.
I think a good thing they've done with a lot of the trailers for a lot of the comic book movies is they've sort of injected the right amount of comedy, not only into the movies but into the trailers as well. So that by putting that amount of comedy in, it's not making it so super set in a realistic time frame that people will just go, oh, superheroes in real life, so fuck. And it kind of gives it that sort of that crossover sector, so it becomes a lot more acceptable. But yeah, it is the golden age of comic books right now. And poor Adam, it looks like you've had your hand up for ages. I'm going to switch over to you.
Well, on sort of a related note, as far as movies that we're excited and anticipating, Days of Future Past looks like it is going to be awesome. And you've got to factor in the fact that when X-Men First Class came out, it was like, why are they doing a prequel? And now they're doing this movie, and it's like, oh, this all makes sense. They've had this planned for a really long time, so it's going to be pretty awesome. And as far as movies I'm not looking forward to, Mrs. Doubtfire 2, because the family knows he's Mrs. Doubtfire. Like,
I actually saw that video, Adam. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Go for it again. What the hell?
Yeah.
Just looks so
Thank you, Dominic,
bad.
by the way.
Jenny, I'm going to jump to you, and then Ray, if you want to go right after Jenny.
Okay.
Cool. I just, on the subject of Marvel Universes, have you seen the Agent Carter mini-film thingy, which is amazing? And also, I caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after finishing Captain America, and I predicted who the Hydra agent was going to be, and I was really happy with myself, and I'm really impressed with the character development, if anyone is still up to date on S.H.I.E.L.D. I just wanted to have my nerd moment.
Yes, I had heard about that sort of Agent Carter mini movie series thingy. So it's not with the person who's playing Agent Carter now. How long ago was it done? Was it done a while ago, or is it recent?
I think it was on the Blu-ray for Iron Man 3. I think that's when it came out. It's quite old now, but it is really good. It's like a day in the life of.
Nice. I will be adding that one to my collection. I'm sure I have the Blu-ray of that in there somewhere. But yes, I'm with you. And, we totally need to have a chat off air because I'm so 100% up to date on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then I have theories, and which I'm sure you have theories, and we need to talk about theories.
That's gonna be the next. Okay.
We don't do spoilers. No, no, no.
No, please don't.
That's gonna
I'm
be the
ready.
next show I marathon.
Okay, because no one else did a girly movie. Stars. I really want to see it.
Sorry, what movie was that? What movie was that?
The Fault in Our Stars. The Vlogbros guy John Green wrote the book, and they're making out of it. It comes out June 6th.
I actually just bought the book, so I probably want to hurry up and read the book before I get to the movie. I mean, it looks alright. I do quite like Shailene Woodley. I think she's a pretty good actress. I loved her in The Descendants. But this is not.
And her brother from that is her boyfriend in this one.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and so the guy that played her brother in Descendant is.
Wait, I don't think she had a brother in The Descendants.
Or not Descendant, whatever the hell the new movie that he was in.
Let's face it.
Divergent.
George Clooney.
Yeah.
Brother from Divergent.
Excuse me, I was able to I was able to absorb more than just George Clooney in that movie, thank you very much. Like, Shailene Woodley had an amazing character development in it, and she portrayed that character really well, and that stood out to me just as much as how awesome George Clooney was in the movie. So,
I'll mention one manly movie, Expendables 3. I want to see that.
Oh yeah.
Show us.
Yes.
And again, I want to withhold judgment. I mean, the first two movies are great, and then the third movie is like, they have what was it? Which one's not? There was Stallone, and then there was Bruce Willis is the one that's not in it because of issues between the two, or there was like two main guys.
I think it was Bruce Willis.
Well, I mean, Bruce Willis wasn't in the first two much. He just kind of.
He did cameos.
He had cameos.
He did cameos.
I mean, I hope it's really good, and I definitely like the first two movies.
I mean,
I'm actually gonna disagree with you a little bit. I'm sorry I'm jumping in, but I'm looking forward to the third one a lot because I think it's hilarious to see all these people together, and because I absolutely love Ronda Rousey. I think she's a vamp. But the first and the second Expendables and the third Expendables, they're all sucky. Like, they're horrible movies, but they're fun to watch. I mean, that's.
So you threw one already sucks. It hasn't came out, but it's.
Yep. It's gonna suck. I mean, I will see it. I will see it, and I will probably love it and then hate it at the same time, which I do with the first two as well.
It sucks if you're looking at it from like a credible plotline point of view, or like an in-depth thought out like sort of like movie plot and even dialogue at times. But that was not the reason why we ever tended to watch like movies that starred them back in the 80s anyway, in the 90s.
Yeah.
So why buck the trend? Just sort of stick with what
Schwarzenegger. If you're there for plot, you have problems.
Yeah, I mean you're there for like big explosions and action, and funny one-liners. That's pretty much
the way I want to describe it is old guy action hero fan fiction.
Yeah, that's actually a really, really good description of it.
Except there's not that much sex in it.
True.
No.
Maybe that's why they brought Ronda Rousey.
Fiction has to have sex.
Oh my God, Ronda Rousey is gonna be. I love Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey is such a fucking badass.
She fucking rolls. I love
Antonio
her.
Banderas is in this one. You don't know there might be sex in it.
Well, he's gonna sex all the ladies.
I love it. It's kind of sex all the ladies.
The plot
also
twist.
Frasier.
The plot twist there. The plot twist there for Expendables 3 is Antonio Banderas is gay.
Again.
Well, then he might get sex too.
Gay to the bone.
I mean, seriously, most of you guys wish that Antonio Banderas was gay, just because, like, then that way you would have more of a chance with the ladies if you were to take him out of the running.
Yeah, it's because the women into Banderas are into me. Like I have chance with his leftovers.
That's totally how it works. Exactly. You take him out of the equation, and then you're in like Flynn.
It's just like Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, now we can
Thank
move
God he's gay.
on.
I know. Seriously,
so
like
true.
honestly, Neil Patrick Harris, though, especially when you look at him in How I Met Your Mother, he plays a straight man better than most straight men. I'm just like, he's amazing. I love him so much. Actually, I think when I was really, really little, he was one of my first crushes when he was in Doogie Howser, MD. Really, dude, Doogie Howser stole my car.
It's like Dr. Horrible sing along.
You better forget
Harold
I
and Kumar.
love him and Dr. Har. I think I literally just love everything that Neil Patrick Harris is in. Anything he touches turns to gold.
Except for
I
Smurfs.
mean, no, I thought he was really cute in this movie. I quite liked the Smurfs. I thought it was alright. Actually, that was kind of a movie that sort of did. I had quite low expectations for it, so I think that's why I kind of enjoyed it. Is that my expectations for it weren't that? Because I thought it would be kind of average. So I quite enjoyed it because I had low expectations for it. But I really want to touch on the subject of, because we've sort of brought it up a few times throughout the Hangout, about at what point do movie trailers go from making you be excited for a movie to just being over it before you've even seen it? Because we kind of, it used to be back in the day of, you wouldn't even get a teaser trailer. It would be like here is a movie trailer that would run for like a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and that would be all you would get before a movie came out. But now we're getting like, first there's a little teaser trailer, and then sometimes you'll get a second teaser trailer, and then you get your first release trailer, and then your second release, and then sometimes you even get a third release trailer. And then kind of at that point, they sometimes tend to just release.
And then they put the first 10 minutes of the movie online, and then they show scenes, and it just gets ridiculous.
Yeah, you can kind of be sort of over a movie before it even comes out. So, I mean, what's everyone's thoughts? Liam, we'll go to you first.
Personally, I hate it when a movie trailer is basically the blurb for the film, It basically shows you everything that happens in it in a summarized form. I think one case I remember was Man of Steel. They released a shit ton of trailers for that. And, you'd seen the movie before it came out,
Yeah, I 100% agree. I was exactly like that with, what's the movie I just saw the other week? The Other Woman, the Cameron Diaz and Leslie Mann movie. I mean, it was a funny movie, but literally I knew 100% every single thing that was going to happen in that movie because they had spelled it out in the whole entirety of the trailer. The fact that she thought she was dating a nice guy, she finds out that he's married, she meets the wife, they meet the other girlfriend, they all form a little group together, they start terrorizing the guy, and they start out with like the funny bad things of, I'm going to make him poop a lot in really awkward situations. And then we're going to go after him financially because we found out that he's screwing over his company. The whole entire movie spelled out in like a 2-minute trailer. So although, yes, I went along and I still enjoyed it and it was funny and I laughed along to the jokes that I didn't see in the trailer, it was like there was literally nothing there that I didn't know that was coming, which is why I like movies like The Sixth Sense, because that kept a very big spoiler and a twist about the movie completely hidden, and you didn't know it was coming until, well, if you played along while you were watching the movie, you could kind of figure it out, but it's not what you were expecting to have happened in the movie just based on the trailer. Jenny, you can jump to Jenny.
I'm very tired. I've completely forgotten my point. Sorry. Carry on.
We will jump to Tor then, and when we come back, hopefully Jenny will have remembered her forgotten sleepy time point.
Okay. I was going to say that I tend to, I don't ever seek out movie trailers because I find that a lot of times, if it's a movie that I really don't care about, then that's fine if I see the trailer. But if it's a movie that I'm like anticipating and looking forward to, watching the trailer just makes me really anxious and upset because, like, I want to see the movie now. Like, don't show me a trailer. I want to just see the movie.
I flip back and forward between sort of that point, like with Game of Thrones, and they were just releasing all of these like trailers and teasers and like little vines of things because I'd read the books and I already knew what was supposed to have been happening. For me, it was just like, fuck yes, give me more. I want it, and I'm happy. If it was something where I didn't necessarily know what was going to happen, it would sort of irritate and annoy me all the more. So I agree. Jenny, do you remember what your point was?
I remember my point.
Oh, go for your point, Jenny.
The Keira Knightley version of Pride and Prejudice, the trailer for that film, goes specifically, it's got the big American voice over the top. It's like an epic romance that blah, 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 blah. And the whole point of Pride and Prejudice is, yes, everyone knows the story, but like for the first maybe 60-70% of the book, these two characters hate each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're meant to kind of almost buy into a relationship with Wickham. You're meant to, like, you know, there's meant to be a will they, won't they thing. And in the trailer, they just, like, cut straight to, but I think I love him. And you're like, that's like the last 10 minutes.
Yep.
The Fault in Our Stars trailer, it shows them having sex in the trailer. Like, you're not supposed to know what's going to happen, and so.
Spoiler. Yeah, I mean, I tend to find it's true. Like, so many of the trailers do this. Now, I know we touched on it earlier when we were talking about Godzilla, but in the latest trailer that came out for Godzilla, they gave away so much of what is going to be happening in the movie, and you're just like, I'm excited for this and I'm looking forward to it, but why are you showing me so much? Leave some of it as a surprise for me. Otherwise, why am I paying like my $15? Yeah, it's just
now
like,
they released the Let Them Fight scene. Like, now we know who Godzilla's fighting. Why do you fucking tell us that? We're supposed to be surprised.
Yeah, so it does get quite disappointing. Ray, since we're already on you, what points did you have?
I wanted to bring up when they put the little layings from people, like the funniest comedy since so-and-so. I saw Bridesmaids mentioned, and one was like the best animated movie since Frozen, and Frozen came out a month ago.
It could be terrible.
So Frozen was just the last animated movie that came out.
Yeah.
Frozen was really good. We couldn't beat it.
They go too far trying to compare it to compare their movie to other movies, and when it has nothing to do with it. Like, one's a comedy and one's a drama, or one's like a comedy about guys getting drunk. The other one's a comedy about women at a bachelorette party. Like, it really makes no sense to even compare the movies, but they try to cash in someone else's success.
Exactly, yeah, totally. It's like, you know, the very first Hangover movie was wildly successful, so then, like, what was that movie, the one about the guy when he turns 21, and, like, he was like the med student. They reviewed it on the New Movie Thing show. They were, like, going, blah, 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 the new Hangout, and I'm like, the only thing that this has in common is that people drink, because, like, that doesn't happen in other movies at all. I mean, really? But it's exactly the point you're making, is that when so many of the trailers come out, especially if it's a movie that doesn't have a massive point of difference or a big fan base following, the only thing they can really do, especially if the movie they know is going to be shit because it's edited together so badly.
Every movie with female characters say, the next Bridesmaids.
Exactly, yeah, especially if it's a female character and it's a little bit funny, then it is totally the next Bridesmaid, because all they've really got to try and sell this movie is to capitalize on what's come before it. Liam, I'm going to go to you because you look so stressed and so anxious to go. You're going to eat yourself.
No, I'm just eating. Don't worry about it. Two things. One, I've seen Pride and Prejudice, ladies, and I enjoyed it. And two, one of the movies I remembered that is probably a little bit more suited to what I said earlier on about the trailers giving away too much of the movies would be The Grey as well, if any of you guys saw that.
Yes.
Oh,
What
yeah.
movie is that?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that is
I
true.
agree.
The whole
What movie did you say? I couldn't hear you.
The Gray.
Gray.
The Gray.
The
Correct.
Liam Neeson one.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I did not like that movie. My review is up somewhere.
Yeah, because that trailer does
I think
show.
all my the movie better when they ate each other. I compared to that movie where they crash in the mountains.
Oh yeah, the one in the Andes where it's like
Yeah, I heard it to that. I called it.
Argentinian football team. Yeah, and they just basically eat each other to survive. Yeah, cannibalism. But you're right, that was actually another movie because we watched that in class at school and we saw the trailer of it ahead of time. And it told you everything that was going to happen in that movie. And you tend to find that happens if it's a movie that either doesn't have a large plot device to drive the actual movie or a large amount of character development, there isn't a huge amount to splice into a trailer.
I also wanted to bring up real quick is something I wanted to mention when I heard this was one of our subjects is movie trailers have been spoiling movies since there have been movie trailers. I mean, that old Alfred Hitchcock movie, Rope, the trailer shows you the end. Like, the trailer for the movie is those 5 minutes of the movie and ruins the end of whether they get away with the crime and all that. Like, it tells you the ending of the movie right in the trailer. And that movie came out in the 40s, so it's always been done.
Actually, that's a really good point. And as soon as you were talking about that, another movie that totally came to mind for me was the Tom Hanks movie Castaway. Because if you look at the trailer for it, they're showing him after he's been on the island and gotten off the island and he's back there and he's meeting up with Helen Hunt, but she's like moved on with his life. And you're like going, well, now that I'm watching the movie, I know
they even tell you how
going to...
many days on the island. They even tell you how long he's on the island.
Exactly, yeah. So you're sitting there watching the whole
Hangout
movie
talked
going...
about how we both watch a review of trailers and how trailers now, and that was his mention. That was what he brought up, Castaway being
yeah, and it does. It completely. It shows everything. It shows the fact that he gets off the island. So you're watching the whole thing, going, well, when you're watching the movie, you're like, well, there's no real urgency and stress for me thinking that, oh my God, he might die on the island and stuff. So yeah. Okay, Meta, Baxon, which one of you two has had your hand up for longer?
I think
ladies
right.
first.
Isn't he a sweetie? Meta, and then Baxon, you can. I was about to say you can take it up the rear, but that's not.
Just uncalled for.
Wow. The movie.
Clearly, I've been talking to Alan too much of late. Baxon, you can follow up Nisa.
I don't know if I want to say anything now. But actually, I've stopped watching trailers because I always feel like they reveal too much of the movie for me. It's been a long time since I've seen a trailer. Like, usually they get me really excited because I think this is going to be really awesome if they can play on this. And then I go see the movie, and it's basically a longer version of the trailer because the trailer has everything that's important. And I'm like, I want something to be left to the imagination. I don't want the trailer to showcase everything, and I feel like it does that. But then again, for example, Pacific Rim, I was really excited after I saw the trailer, then super disappointed after I saw the movie. So other times it works the other way around. Are you gonna hate me for that comment as well, Adam?
No.
I might a little bit because I really like Pacific Rim.
Well, I was man. But
I mean,
but really, I enjoy watching trailers when I go to the movies. Actually, that's basically where I watch trailers now because I don't actively seek them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see them as pre-rolls on YouTube videos, and that's basically it. Because I feel like it just ruins too much of me of my experience with movies. And I'll hear about these movies that I want to see no matter what. And I just want to be surprised even more, so I don't watch the trailers. I, for example, didn't watch the trailer for The Hunger Games, the second one, because I hadn't read the book yet, and I wanted to be pleasantly surprised about the movie.
Yeah.
And it worked. I didn't know anything that was going to happen. I hadn't seen anything from it, so I like that. I like being surprised.
Yeah.
I just wanted to backtrack a little bit and piggyback on what Tor was saying about like having the expectations of not wanting to see the trailers and being like super excited for the movie to come out and be very impatient with that. That doesn't so much happen with me in terms of movies. I think I'm pretty good in terms of avoiding like spoilers of movies and TV shows. But what I wanted to touch on was video game trailers. Video game trailers will sometimes give a lot of information on a game, and I don't want to have to impatiently wait for a game to come out. And there's a few list of games that I want to play that are coming out, and it's like having trailer upon trailer upon trailer, even like just the introduction of the game, not necessarily the gameplay. It's just teaser of wanting that game to come out in general. Yeah, I mean, it's just that feeling of anxiety that I don't like.
Yeah, video trailers are the worst because sometimes they show you the entire game and sometimes they show you no gameplay. They show you one cutscene and you have no idea what the fucking game is.
Yeah, I find one of my biggest problems with video game trailers is a lot of times they don't show you the gameplay and show you the cinematics that look amazing instead.
Yeah, I think when I started really getting into gaming when I was a bit younger and was like the original Diablo movie and stuff, the cinematic trailers where it looked amazing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. And then I played it, I'm like, this.
Yeah, there's a huge letdown sometimes.
But it does sort of, if you can get past that initial disappointment of, oh, why is the game I'm playing not as cool as this, it then does really help enrich sort of like your imagination of it, and you then start to, as you're playing the game, you start to see it more like the cinematic work for it. But I think Blizzard really sort of led the way with a lot of stuff back then, and that's why we're starting to see so many movies now made from video games, because they showed how it could actually legitimately be done. Anyway, moving
did
on.
you hear they're making a $500 million video game?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Destiny.
Better be like virtual reality.
Destiny that costs $500 million. I just wanted to bring that up real quick. No, someone else can go. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I think I've actually put a couple of notes down for some future topic hangouts, and some of them are going to be in terms of adaptations and stuff as well. So we're just going to jump to Tor, and then after Tor, go through to Jenny.
Okay. I was going to say that despite, like, I don't really watch trailers for new movies that are coming out, but I do really like when people do, like, re-edits of movie trailers so that it's like Mrs. Doubtfire, but they'd cut the trailer so that it looks like it's a horror film. Or like Jurassic Park is a romantic comedy, like stuff like that. That's hilarious.
Also one of Free Willy where the kid is a bad guy called Steel Willy. The kid just showed like the poor park owner or whale, and his damn kid's trying to sell them and shut down their business.
I'm going to steal your whale, man. Jenny?
Yeah. I just wanted to, like, the weirdest, like, spoiler that I've had mid-film. This sounds like the weirdest thing, but it's never happened in any other adaptation or anything that I've seen. But at the end of the fourth Resident Evil film, it had an end credit clip. And so it did the first, it did like the end of the film, and then it did credits rolling. And in the credits, they were like, Jill Valentine. And I was like, one sec, I swear I didn't spot Jill Valentine in this film. And then they did the end credit clip. And Jill Valentine was in it. I was like, oh.
That's awesome.
That's really clever. That's really clever.
I saw a movie that did that once. I can't remember what it was. I saw a movie that did that once. Like, in the movie, they stop and tell you into my character after the credits. It was a weird comedy. I can't remember what it was.
Since we are talking about end credits, and I'll come to you in just a second, Liam. I'm sorry. So, but just since we are talking about end credits, does anyone sort of like really remember when they actually? Because it's such a big thing now, especially like with all the comic book movies, to have sort of those final scenes at the end credits. Like the earliest one that I can remember was in like Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2, and they did that, like especially, but like I'm really struggling to sort of think of movies that did sort of the whole secret end credit thing before it, and it just seems like it is such a thing now.
Fast and the Furious did it. The first Fast and the Furious had it.
In the first Resident Evil film, it's not actually an end credit clip, but what they did was they took a soundbite from halfway through the film from Michelle Rodriguez's role, and they took that clip and then put it as like the segue between soundtrack songs during the credits. So if you actually watch all the way through the credits, halfway through the credits, it's like, after this I'm gonna get laid. So, Rodriguez. Yeah, quoting, not me saying that. Yeah.
So gonna take that clip and then just post it everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get laid. Because you're laying like that as well. It just makes it better.
I'm glad that not enough of us watch that to get gifts.
Liam, I did promise I would come to you, and Adam, if you want to jump in after Liam.
Sure.
Thank you, Kiwi. I'm gonna say I have to leave just now.
So anticlimactic. Gosh, you were gonna like provide insight and like your Scottish flavour, but no, instead you're just planning on breaking our hearts and abandoning us. That's
happy.
You get my Scottish flavour in private. Don't worry.
Okay.
Right, disturbing.
Yeah. I'm heading off just now. Yeah, it was awesome.
Actually, probably good timing for you, Liam, because I was just about to talk about your arch nemesis in the TV
the bastard,
show.
Sam the bastard.
Yeah, so yeah, probably a good thing then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome talking to you guys, and everyone seriously subscribe to everyone that's in this thing. They're all awesome.
Yeah. Have a good night or whatever time it is over there. Good nap.
Night, Liam.
Have good sleepy times, Liam.
Like midnight over there.
Bye, Liam.
Later, Servitorix.
That's fine. But Adam, so on to your thoughts and stuff. Well, oh God, can Liam actually shut down without crashing our whole hangout?
I was wondering about that myself.
Just close the tab, Liam.
Well, okay, you guys told me to do this.
If we shut down now, that'll
Oh God.
Oh God, are we all gonna crash?
Brace yourself.
Open every tab and then close the tab rather than looking out.
And
They're still alive.
Yay.
The world didn't explode.
Thank holy Christ and crackers.
That was like Y2K nerve-wracking.
Oh my God, it totes was. Adam.
Yeah, so back to end credits and trailers or end credits. I would say Wayne's World is the first one that I really remember it happening in. I would say if it wasn't the first one, it was kind of the one that set the precedent, like that really got noticed for doing it. Yeah. And another thing that I wanted to mention is, I don't remember if it was Hot Shots or Naked Gun or even both of them, but they would have like joke credits. Like partway through, it would be like pop quiz, which character said this, and they would just put funny stuff in the credits the whole way through.
Yeah, it was a couple times. What was it? Superbad. All the characters, since they can tell that half the people in the party what names were, all their names are porn star name. They're
Yeah, I remember that one.
Ron and stuff. Yeah, they
can't
all use
remember
that
what-
for their character names.
That's why
I can't remember what movie it was. There was one movie, and this is going to drive me nuts now until I remember
And
what it
they
was.
shot
But
a
at
bundle
the
of penis
very end credits of it was basically like the people were just sort of like standing there and like just staring at the camera, going, like, seriously, there's people still sitting here watching the movie. The credits are gone. Just go. Just leave. Like, why haven't you gone? The movie is over. And it's just like, oh God, what movie was it that did that? It's going to drive me nuts.
Was it Barbie at the end of Toy Story 2?
That's why I like a lot of the.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, that'll be one of them. But the one I'm specifically remembering was like live action people.
It was
but, yeah,
people,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, but I know Barbie did that as well.
That's why I like a lot of the
Like,
Jackie
I
Chan.
can't stop smiling.
That's why I like a lot of the Jackie Chan type movies, especially in the credits. He'll often do bloopers of the stuff that happened back scene.
Yeah, all the stunts that just completely failed.
Yeah.
There was a movie. It's actually an Australian movie. Garage Days had them all dancing during the credit over to the side. Had like an ending where everyone dances to the soundtrack.
I really like it when they do add things in during the credits and then right after the end, because I was always so fanatical about not wanting to leave until that very, very last second anyway. So now I kind of feel like my crazy OCD-ness of it actually pays off now. Meta, did you also have something to say on this? Because I'll get you and Baxorn to jump on this because we've got one more topic, one more question I just sort of want to pop through before we finish up tonight. So, yeah.
Yeah, just very quickly. I didn't actually even notice that this trend was happening until somebody told me about the Avengers and all the Marvel movies having these. Because normally it's like, it's not when a movie finished I'll just get up and go and just whatever. Like, I'll take some time, but I just don't have the patience for it, and I have the feeling like nothing's gonna happen in the credits, so I just go up and leave. And so I won't know about these credits until, I actually hear about it from somewhere else. But now I'm beginning to
look up afterward.
Now I'm beginning to like sit through the credits all the way through just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Because I was actually watching Thor 2 the other day, and I almost missed the extra scene in the end. Because I was like, oh, it's not coming. Wait, it should be here. So I was almost about to turn it off. Bam, there it is. And I was happy I stayed.
Yeah.
I agree, because like sometimes the credits go on, so like especially like the credits on The Hobbit and all the Lord of the Rings movies, holy shit, they go on forever, just like the movies. So I'm kind of thankful they don't have something at the end. But it's the perfect time to then like turn your cell phone back on and like sort out all your crap, because otherwise it just drags on. All right, Baxorn, last bit on this point.
This is where I'm going to lose a little bit of Marvel geek cred for this, because that's where I kind of screwed up with Captain America. I forgot someone actually told me there were two ending, two things.
That was me.
And, it's like I forgot about staying through the end of it, and it's like I saw the first one, but I didn't see the second one. I left before the second one came through, and it's like then I remembered, shit, I should have stayed through the whole thing, and it's like
I'll have to wait for the DVD.
Yeah, I made a choice on purpose not to wait for the credits of that one, because I figured it would tell me what happened when you see it.
Okay, guys, so we've got about sort of 15-20 minutes left, and I know we have kind of touched on this topic a little bit sort of throughout, but I just kind of wanted to go just a little bit more in depth into it, just sort of about the reasons that you find yourself getting really excited about movies or TV shows before they come out. I mean, some of it obviously can come from the excitement of knowing about the project. I know for me personally, I am so unbelievably excited for the 9th of August when the Outlander TV series comes out, because I'm just such a huge fan of the books and I love them so much. And sort of the little snippets I've seen here and there really makes me feel as if they are taking so much care, kind of like what they've done with Game of Thrones and adapting the books into a TV series and really sort of like following through with a lot of detail on the character and just sort of generally building up the world. So for me, I kind of get really excited about up-and-coming projects that are really close to my heart, where I'm starting to see that they're really taking care with the source material. Unlike, on the other hand, with Gem, how it just seems like they're almost ignoring the source material. It's like, fucking come on, man. So yeah, Tor, what about you?
I usually only get excited for movies if I already know the story, like when the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movies were coming out, and it's like I loved the old BBC movies, I loved the books, so then when you're watching the movie, it's like you remember every little detail, and it's almost like you're so into the movie, but at the same time you're also just kind of watching it to see where they screw up. Yeah. And I don't. It kind of adds to the enjoyment unless they screw up like something massive.
Well, I mean, it's a good point, and I find it's that thing that we've both kind of gone for. It's we get so excited for movies and TV shows that come out on things where we really know the source material. So how does it work then if it's a completely new franchise and a new idea? How do people end up getting excited about something like that? Does it come specifically down to the trailer, or does it come down to sort of people's word of mouth talking about it sort of before it comes out, that you're excited to actually see something new, since everything these days is just a remake of a remake of a remake? How do you get excited about new stuff as well?
Well, for some people, it's direct. Christopher Nolan film Interstellar, everyone's losing their shit over that, and no one knows anything about it yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. First person to talk because I can't pick.
Well, it should be pretty obvious with the crap that's in my back wall here, what shows coming up that I'm really excited for. Whether it's the trailer that was released for Gotham, or it looks like it's a different direction. A lot of that has to do with like nostalgia and like want something new from the franchise also. That just builds up the excitement for that. And on top of that, I just really like this shit back here.
Yeah. Actually, that's if we're talking about Gotham, Courtney, who had been kind of watching along with us until their streaming went out, so she'll catch up later, had also sort of wondering about if anyone else had any opinions on the new show Gotham. So you two need to head up on Twitter and talk about Gotham, I'm thinking. And also, if Liam is still watching, he just sort of mentioned in the questions that we all cheered when he left. Yes, he did. Yay, he's gone.
Yay!
We were just happy that the whole Hangout didn't crash.
Liam, come back. Come back.
Even if you don't love us anymore, but that's fine. Jenny.
I've got to say there's something to be said for a well-edited trailer. Like, even if that trailer ends up being misleading or shows all the good things and then means that it's either spoiled the film or has highlighted the wrong aspects of it, or perhaps gives it, like, a good trailer, in my opinion, is one that gives very little information about the plot but really captures the atmosphere. But if there is a really good, like, well-edited trailer, that will get me relatively excited about a film. Like, Clash of the Titans, the remake that came out 2010-ish.
Sam Worthington?
I was really, I think I was really looking forward to that film. Both me and my sister desperately wanted to see it. Resident Evil 4, I really wanted to see it. Both not the best films. But
bring out the Kraken!
The movie made no sense, but...
It was entertaining.
Release the Kraken! Why did I release the Kraken? He tricked me!
But yeah, I mean, it's a good point you make, Jenny, though, and the fact that all it takes is a really good, well-edited trailer, and the best ones that are edited are done by people who actually know what the movie is really about, because sometimes trailers can be edited so misleading in the fact of they make a movie that is quite serious look like it's a funny feel-good romp when it's not, and it's the ones where they actually capture the essence of the movie. And because at the end of the day, we all want to be entertained. We want to watch a movie that's going to entertain us and sort of really capture, our passions for it. And I think sometimes I really miss the mark on the trailers when it comes to it. Ray, I'll jump to you first, and then Meta, if you want to jump in after Ray.
Wanted to mention quickly, I told you I did watch a video about trailers just before, like yesterday, and brought up the same misleading and all that stuff. But I mostly like trailers that leave a lot of mystery. Like, I want to watch a movie to figure out what's going on. I don't like it when it gives so much away and like, oh yeah, I know what the hell's gonna happen. Okay. And there's some movies that make no sense even be. They try to make it a movie. What's this one? Sex Tape. And like, what's gonna happen? Big deal. They made a sex tape. It's on the internet now. Their lives, they get embarrassed when they walk down the street. End the movie. And but that's a whole different rant. But I like, that's a whole different rant. Movies business being movies, and they have one plot, and the rest is just built on bullshit. But I like that mystery, and I want to make me want to. You won't know what's going on unless you watch this movie.
Yeah. Meta, do you want to round us out with our last comment for tonight? You can sum it all up today.
I'll try. Well, I definitely agree as well. A good trailer that doesn't give away the entire plot, but just sort of sums up what the issue in the movie is going to be, what they're going to try to work out. That's, for me, what's really, really good. Or, just a good teaser as well is really good. But oftentimes, as we also, like, I don't know who mentioned it about Interstellar, a small teaser from a well-acclaimed director or producer will create so much hype that everybody will talk about it. And the more people talk about it, the more people are going to hear about it, the more people are going to see it when it eventually comes out. Or they'll see the trailer and then they won't see the movie. I think that word of mouth has a lot to do with it as well. But one thing also with me being part of the insane Sherlock fandom, time and fucking MoFat has a lot to do with how excited you are about the new stuff that's going to happen. When you go as a fandom and you don't hear anything about the series for like, what was it, a year and a half, 2 years, and you finally hear like a little, just like this, you just explode in happiness, and that's going to create so much hype, and a lot of more people are going to get excited and see it.
That's the route J. Abrams goes with all his films is, I'm not going to tell you what it's about, you just have to see it. And it gets people excited because they want to know what the hell's going on. They just show you grainy pictures and a little bit of footage, and you
not so much
don't know what it's about unless you go.
It's not so much not about not knowing what's going on, but like, well, I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil Sherlock.
I don't want you to spoil the movie.
I don't want to spoil it. I really don't want to spoil Sherlock for anyone, but the cliffhanger from season 2 to season 3 was fucking insane, which made the whole entire fandom just explode in crazy theories for 2 years basically, and nobody heard anything about what was going to happen. So at the first sign of like, and then the first sign of like a picture coming from the set, everybody just explodes again and are excited about seeing whenever it comes out. And then we don't hear about how it,
minor
explanation is given,
but you think about them,
it doesn't matter.
Literally sitting down and telling fanboys, it doesn't matter what happened. They literally listen to a fanboy of Sherlock. It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter what happened.
But it's not about what happens or what does not happen. The fact of the matter is that, you take so much that when they draw out the suspense, more people are going to be interested in what happens, which means that a lot more people are going to view or talk about it or share pictures, or they're going to create a lot of social media hype, and the more hype that they create, the more people are going to watch it. It doesn't matter if you get the answer you want or not, because the time has been, like, from that episode to the first episode again, it's just so long that people, they want to watch it now, no matter if they get an answer or they don't.
Yeah, time is actually a really important point, which I'm glad you brought up. So I'll just touch on this quickly before we go. As soon as you said time, the first movie that came to mind for me, which is kind of sad, was Bad Boys 2. I loved the first Bad Boys movie, so much so it was actually going to be my movie club pick at first. And when they finally announced, like years later, that they'd managed to get everyone together on schedule and we're going to do Bad Boys 2, I freaked the fuck out. And I was like, holy shit, yes, because it had been such a long period of time. Whereas you look at some of the other movies and, like, you know, all three of the Hangout movies basically popped out sort of like one after another within this tiny short period of time, and you were just so over it so quickly because, one, it was kind of the same story, which when you look at Bad Boys 1 and Bad Boys 2, it's very much the same story. It's just same shit, different day. But because there was that big, long time period between it, you had, you know, the anticipation for it was sort of through the roof, and you didn't really need to know or see a lot of what was happening. So time is a really important factor, especially when you look at, say, shows like Game of Thrones right now. It is a big gap between seasons because it takes a long time to film it and edit it, and there's so much work involved. So by the time the new series rolls around, it just becomes this big, epic, like, moment of awesomeness for everyone that gets into it. So a well-edited trailer and time, I think, is kind of the key ingredient.
Minimalize what you owe us. Minimalize what you owe us. Don't show us everything and build suspense among your fan base when you do sequels.
And he still needs to finish those damn books.
Yes, he does. He better not die beforehand. I'd be so pissed off.
You know what they say, every time you ask when the next book coming out, he kills a Stark. So,
yeah, so we won't say that. But just before everyone signs off, I think one point I just wanted to make on movie trailers is that movie trailers used to be an intro to a movie. Nowadays, movie trailers seem to be more of a summary of a movie.
Yeah.
So I think perhaps if they start edging back towards the intro aspect of a movie, it would be a really good idea. But it's kind of come to that time, folks. We have yatted on for quite a while about Great Expectations. So we're going to run down the line and sign off because I think that's us done for another week. Yay! So Adam, why don't you lead us off?
Hi, my name's Adam. My channel is Junk Drawer Videos. I talk about movies, pro wrestling, I make lists, and I've been doing Google Hangouts with my brother lately. We have a lot of fun over there, so come check us out.
I guess I was next.
Nope, that's me.
Okay.
Well, my name is Meta, aka Meta Medicine. If you Google Meta Medicine, you'll probably find some weird shit I've done somewhere on the internet, or on Instagram as well. And for the first time in weeks, I did not talk about 50 Shades of Grey on this Hangout, which I think deserves a round of applause. But anyway, next week, I promise it will be back.
Go into an in-depth discussion between the correlation between the books and how that would relate to the movies.
Oh, I'm so with you there, Kiwi. That needs to happen. I'm just saying, as soon as that movie comes out, you know, all Hangouts is just going to be 50 Shades of Grey.
Exactly.
Action movies, 50 Shades of Grey.
I'm totally prepared for that. Baxorn.
Okay, now that I have the order, my name is Baxorn. That's the same for the YouTube channel. I talk about movies, video games, animes. I sometimes talk without clothes, and just in general, I post videos that have random stuff in them.
Smith. My channel is RayHS1984. My Twitter is Raymond H. Smith. I make reviews of movies that no one has ever seen in Corner Store. And tonight I'm going to review a Atkins movie because I've only done like 4 this month. Next.
I'm Jenny. I'm Took It Home to Jenny on YouTube, Took It Home to Jen on Twitter, and I'm really behind with all my movie reviews, but I have watched everything that I need to review. I have watched Avatar, I have watched Blues Brothers again, which is awesome. I have watched Another, and I have watched Gurung Taken, whatever I cannot pronounce the Japanese title to save my life. I have watched all things I need to watch. I have just been, working a lot and getting locked outdoors for 2 hours. And yours will be
I'm
coming
Tor.
out.
Okay. Are you done, Jenny?
Yeah, I'm done, sorry.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm Tor. You can find me at Tor's Times on basically any social media platform that your heart desires. I do movie reviews, I do Wreck This Journal videos, and I do random compilations of stuff that I do, and I think it's hilarious and awesome, so you should probably go watch it all. That's it.
Yay. And I have been your host today, Kiwi, although apparently I do have a real name, but I don't think anybody knows it because I'm legitimately only apparently known as Kiwi anymore. You can find me on the Twitters at Kiwi Chris Jones. Also on YouTube, please go and subscribe to my channel. I mean, yes, subscribe to everyone, but I am 5 people away from hitting 100. I just need 5 more people. And you don't even need to watch my videos. Just subscribe, give me some love.
I got a new subscriber this week, so thank you, Marsh Little, for being my 47th subscriber.
Yay!
Just real quick, I just want to pour out there that this week's Sourcefed Nerd Book Club is not Divergent, it's a TFIOS. So.
Yeah. It's The Fault in Our Stars. I should probably hurry up and read that if I want to film my video for that.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
Yeah, we've all kind of got to jump in and get on that.
I also want to give props to Kiwi for no George Clooney.
Well, there was a little bit of George Clooney.
There's a little Clooney.
There's always a bit of George Clooney. I carry him in my heart, always. Although
Clooney is like the spice of life.
You have to have Clooney in your life. The guy is freaking amazing. He makes amazing movies, and he is going to change and save the world, and he will probably end up your president one day. So, best bow to your overlord now.
Clooney is my fault because I accidentally Divergent Descendant, and so we ended up talking about George
Clooney for president.
Anyway, please be sure to go and subscribe to our Movie Club channel. I'm about to draw the winner of the $50 For Human Club People's voucher, which I'll do sometime this week. So you have a couple of days left to go and enter the competition if you haven't. So go to our channel, and right down the bottom of the front page of the channel you'll find the link to the competition video. Just follow the instructions for that. Go subscribe to our Twitter account. Especially please go and follow and like our Facebook page. We have online forums there that we're working on and setting up because we need everybody's input for some of our upcoming videos that we have coming up on our group channel, and we really want everyone to get involved. Please don't be afraid to submit questions or topics or things that you think we should be talking about on the Hangouts. Watch along with us, ask us our questions, because we will address questions throughout the show. And just thank you, everyone, for sticking with us. Yay! Thanks for us this week. We'll be back next week. And I need a really cool closing line. Like Philip DeFranco's got "Love your faces," but I can't steal that because I think he might have even copyrighted it. Which he has.
You can steal mine. Thanks for watching. We'll try to do better next time.
Yeah, there you go. That works perfectly for us because we always do try to do better next time, but then we tend to fall apart halfway through and it just turns into anarchy. But that has been us, guys. We love you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.